We're at the graveyard in Nunawading for your NBL1 game of the week as the 10-5 Nunawading Spectres host the 5-10 Ringwood Hawks. Alongside NBL champion, global hoops personality, and all-round nice guy Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria on deck. And Damon, this Nunawading Spectres outfit with all their guns in uniform, bringing 10-year NBL veteran Lucas Walker off the bench. They are absolutely stacked.
The rich just get richer. And thanks for the nice invite, Liam. Yeah, you got two different teams going in two different directions. And Ringwood have caught the Spectres possibly at the wrong time. This is the first time they've all had their full lineup, and a few of their boys have been away representing their country, so we'll see how they settle back in. But the talent is from top to bottom, as deep as you'll see.
You mentioned a couple of their players away, Andrew Steele and Tom Wright, both away with you and their head coach Dave Biwa at the 3x3 Basketball World Cup in Amsterdam. Dane Swatala also sat out last week with a fractured rib and a slightly punctured lung, so he's been in a bad way, and they're coming off an 0-2 weekend as a result a 12-point loss to Kilsyth, and a 7-point loss to Waverley. They gave up 99 in one game and 101 in the other. Now, this is a squad that has championship aspirations. So not only do they have everyone back in uniform, but they've got a little chip on their shoulder after what happened last week.
This spells bad news for Ringwood. They're coming back after those 2 weeks, and Dave told me while we were away that the team was struggling, missing bodies, and just out of form. So they got something to prove, and I'm expecting a really good show out of the Spectre boys. So Ringwood could cop it tonight.
Well, the Hawks, they're coming off a 1-1 weekend. An 18-point loss to Eltham, but a 7-point win over the Centre of Excellence. They've been a little bit banged up. Their import, Jacob Gibson, has been struggling with knee tendinitis, and he's been playing limited minutes over their past 4 games. And again, coming into this one a little underdone, but for a team sitting in 17th place, Damon, coming in off the back of a win, has got to help their confidence when they're up against it on enemy territory.
Normally I would agree with you, Liam, but I'm going to disagree with you this time. Because that one win was against children. Even though the COE...
Oh, hold up. Have you seen the COE this season?
There's some large children, and there's some very talented children.
Okay, because they've had some good wins.
They have, but it's just it's a mindset. You know, you say, yeah, we beat the COE, and you go, yeah, but they're still in high school. So in saying that, if they would have had a win against someone that was in adulthood, they might have a little bit more confidence. But look, this is a game you're going to test out their character now, because it's easy to write this off as a loss, and like they know they would have to play kind of out of their skin, above their head a little bit. So if things get a little bit pear-shaped for them early, we'll see what Ringwood's made of.
Now, obviously, it's 2017 Siebel MVP, the Tim Duncan of NBL1, Simon Conn, who is the main man for Nunawading. I think he's the MVP of the league right now, averaging 21 and 10, shooting 55% from the field. But they have so many weapons. Tom Wright back in the lineup tonight, averaging 18 a game. Swatala averaging 17 and 10. Walker 14 a game off the bench. And Kostas Chronopoulos will also start. He's coming in off 4 straight double-digit scoring games. What does Ringwood do against so much firepower? Spoke to head coach Ken Harrington just before, and he said, well, people say zone him, and he says, we got the worst zone in Southern Hemisphere. That's not an option for us. How do they go about shutting down this high-powered Nunawading offense?
Man, that's a lot to digest. I don't know how they do it. I mean, what year is this? It's 2019, and Simon Conn is still playing basketball at a high level. Everybody knows he's going to pick and pop. He's going to jump hooky to death. You know, he's just a seasoned veteran, and you got your backcourt. You know, you got Shane McDonald, and he's going to be out there like Steve Nash dropping dimes. I don't know what you do to stop these guys. I will still try to junk it up and play a little bit of zone and mix it up at least just to give them a different look. But in saying that, you look on the other end, I'm going, Matthew Snow is still playing. Matt Fennell, I played against a lot of these guys, and I've been retired a long time. Guys are just keeping themselves in good shape, obviously.
You mentioned Matthew Snow, the point guard for Ringwood, number 8, 35 years of age, coming off a 12-assist game last Sunday. And, boy, his highlights were something to watch as he was threading the needle left, right, and centre. And also keep your eye on number 20, former Melbourne Tigers NBL player Adrian Sturt, has had a bit of an up-and-down season, but coming off a season-high 42-point offensive explosion.
Adrian hasn't got any shorter over the years. He's a former Eltham Wildcat, I think a former Waverley Falcon, a former UK player. So he's been all over. He's a veteran. Adrian knows how to score. It'll be a good matchup with him and Simon.
And I mentioned Jacob Gibson, the Ringwood's leading scorer. He's going to come off the bench with that knee soreness. We are underway, and Ringwood gain first possession. Big crowd here at the Graveyard for your NBL1 game of the week. And the Hawks looking to pull off a massive upset. Fennell, whack, that's a great start. He sticks a triple.
Matty Fennell, former teammate of mine. I actually coached Matty under 20s at Eltham. And if he'd have shot a three-pointer back then, I would have dragged him. But he's obviously expanded his game over the years, and he's a rock-solid veteran.
They need a big game out of Fennell tonight. Here's Wright, and bang, he hits his first attempt.
Got to see a lot of time, obviously, in Amsterdam, and the guy's just he's just rock solid. You know, he's a defender. He can hit the shot. He can get into the key. And him in the backcourt with Shane McDonald is a nightmare.
He's missed a lot of NBL1 action, right, as he dimes up Renopoulos there. A bucket and an assist on the first two possessions. Back in uniform for the Spectres for Tom Wright. Snow rolls it in to Clark. He turns it over. Ooh, foul called on Simon Conn, and Ringwood head coach Ken Harrington won't mind that one little bit.
Now, Sean Clark, he's got some kilos that he can use to his advantage. And everybody knows when snow starts to penetrate, you got to stay at home because the guy's a human assist.
Sturt sticks the mid-range, and it's 5-4 Ringwood. Swatella not going to go to work in the block. Back in the lineup after missing last week, and he gets his name on the board.
Yeah, Big Dan, he can get that shot off whenever he wants, and Adrian Sturt's going to have to play a little bit more physical than that.
Having a super efficient season, Swatella. 56% from the field, 45% from long range. His pairing with Conn is tough to guard. Sturt from deep, in and out. Wright turns it over, picked off by Miller.
Ringwood over the years have historically brought out Sean Clark.
That's from
what?
Deep. That is a deep triple from Sean Clark.
In transition, Shawnee made me lose my train of thought.
And just shooting 25% from long range on the season, Clark, and it's his first attempt tonight. Knocks that one away from Conn. There's Miller exploring in transition, finds Snow, shot fake, can't finish at the rim.
Tom got lucky. I don't think Tom Wright, I don't know if he read the scouting report, but Snow was bluffing him for that three.
Great take from Veronopoulos. He's in an aggressive mindset right now. Costas Veronopoulos had 25 and 12 against Kilsyth last week, and then 21, 8 and 6.
Hard-nosed Veronopoulos. Am I saying that right? Can I just say Costas? Everybody know who I'm talking about? No, he plays hard. He's that tweener. Not quite a guard, not big enough to be a forward, but just plays hard.
Well, there's Clark again getting the better of Conn at the offensive end. He went outside and then inside. He's got 5 early points, Sean Clark. Conn goes right back at him. Can't hit the trademark turnaround.
I'll get back on D.
And Swatella helps Conn. I thought Clark could have got to the stripe there. McDonald on his trusty left. Finds Wright. Ringwood clog it up. Conn, he fires the mid-range and knocks it down.
Man, if you had $1 for every time you've seen Simon Conn hit his mid-range jump shot.
That'll be a few lollipops.
Get a few chubba chups with that.
There's Fennell, gets past Wright and gets past Swatella and scores off the board.
Nobody told Ringwood that they were the heavy underdogs in this game, at least early.
Defense not standing up. Leaky at both ends of the floor right now as the points are coming thick and fast. It's 12 apiece, 4.5 minutes in. Good find from Snow. Sturt has a deep catch, scores, and it's just a little too easy at each end of the floor right now.
I'm not joking. 2010 they ran that play, and they're still effective. Little back pick for the big, snowball, Snow dribbles off. He just throws a nice little bounce pass into the post.
And here he is picking it off, finding Fennell. He scores, and Ringwood go up 4. And timeout, Nunawading. Dave Beale has seen enough. Great start for the Ringwood Hawks on the road.
I like trying to work out the psychology of a game, Liam. Bear with me for a second. Right now, Ringwood is just a trap game. You know that trap game when Nunawading's at home, they stacked, they got a point to prove, They're supposed to beat Ringwood because Ringwood's 17th on the ladder. Classic trap game. And then Ringwood comes out and goes, what do we really got to lose? Let's just get up and down, run up and down, let it fly. Sean Clark shooting threes in transition. What do they got to lose? You know, they got a little sneaky 4-point lead early. Calls Dave to call his first time out.
Well, it's a great call by you. You mentioned a few minutes ago nobody's told the Hawks that they are the heavy underdogs. In fact, speaking with head coach Ken Harrington pre-game, that's exactly what he told them, because he wanted them having that mindset you talk about right there, saying, fellas, you got nothing to lose. This is the game of the week. We've got multi-cameras in the stadium. They're showing replays. They've got Damon Lowry here calling the game. And you can just get out there, let that thing fly like Sean Clark did in transition,
Absolutely.
his first catch, and get everyone yapping about you by taking a huge scalp.
Absolutely, and just like the Ringwood women prior to this game showed, if you hang around and keep it close, anything can happen in the last quarter.
That was a great win by the Hawks earlier tonight, as they hold their position at the top, in the top four. Now, Nunawading execute well out of the timeout. They get a good wide open look for Tom Wright. He can't hit.
See, it's one thing when the women come back and play from the 3-on-3 using the heavy size 6 ball, but guys like Tom Wright and Andrew Steele, who've been shooting with a size 6, come back with a size 7. It might just take a little bit of time to adjust.
Is it 6.5?
It's the weight of a 7,
right,
but a 6.
Right. That's going to take a little getting used to. 16-12 Ringwood. They go straight into Clark. Walker's in the game for Con. Bodying up with Clark. He's a big unit. Up and under and count it. Sean Clark is off to a cracking start.
Waxy's got the strength to be able to keep him from getting too deep. But Sean Clark's a bit crafty with the up and under.
Sean Clark has been getting work done. Here's the replay of the good look from Swatala mid-range. Couldn't hit it. Clark drawing the foul, and he's got the better of Con. And now, 2 possessions in a row, he's got the better of Lucas Walker. Here's Miller, yet to get himself going. They're going inside again. Sturt, turnaround, count it.
That's his game. Anybody who's been watching Adrian Sturt play over the last decade knows that he's a face-up, face-the-basket kind of guy, mid-range guy. You want to get him to put the ball on the floor.
Walker, offensive board, and scores it. 6-point lead to Ringwood. Snow, wow, good look.
Got to stay at home when Snow penetrates. He doesn't penetrate the score.
Yeah, only averages 7 points a game, but top 2 in the league in dimes. Matt Snow. We got 3 of the top 4 in assists in the league on the floor tonight. Sturt from 3-point territory, and Ringwood go up by 9.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the 6.5 minute mark of this game. Ringwood getting out on a fast break. Nunawading's look a little bit slow in transition.
Here's McDonald, and Sturt sends it packing. And everything going Ringwood's way right now. And Damon, this is where things will become a bit of a test for the Hawks, the depth.
The depth.
All right, that starting unit got the job done, but as they start to ring the changes now, Clark's out. Trevor Latham's in.
Another former teammate of mine, Trevor, from Berlin back in the day, and he's got the same size as Sean. He's another crafty old veteran who just got to keep a body on Simon, just to keep him honest. Nunawading come out in somewhat of a matchup little zone here.
Here's Snow, late in the clock, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Latham, needs to let it fly. 3, 2, 1. And Fennell throws up a prayer. A lack of awareness there from the Hawks. And that ball needed to stay with Snow. He needed to make a play. Here's Ben Eyre. finds right, aggressive take, great D from Fennell, and a bailout call from the
I
official.
thought Tom got away with a travel then, but sometimes when you're home, you get those calls. If Dave Beaver was jet lagged earlier, this might have woke him up.
Yeah, back from Amsterdam, coached the men's team in the 3x3 World Cup. My man Damon here coached the women. We're going to talk more about that whole experience as the night progresses. Turnover, Ringwood have it. Snow, great take, and he fit. Oh wow, I called it too early. Latham with the putback.
Those are all the little extra things they're doing, similar to what we saw of their women just prior. Not giving up on plays, offensive rebounds.
Simon Conn with the turnaround. Matt Snow, the little pass fake to the corner. He's so fun to watch.
Matt Snow been doing this. He have to be playing his 500th or 600th game. He's been doing this his entire career.
He just has a little kind of sauce to his game, which I enjoy.
He did it when he had hair. He's doing it when he don't have hair. It don't matter with him. He knows how to find people.
Walker from range. Bang, that's down. And it's a 4-point game. It's been a great opening term for the Hawks up against the second place Spectres, but can they close out the term? They led by 9 just moments ago. Here's Miller. Wright has had him on lockdown thus far. Latham jump hook. No good.
That's good D.
Conn again. Wow, Simon Conn just doing Simon Conn things.
Pick, pop, roll, flare, jump hook, mid-range. That's the Simon handbook.
Here's Miller from deep. He can't get it to go. And the Spectres have a 3-second differential. As we wind down the opening term, Wright takes the air out of the possession. Here comes the wing on ball from Conn. Wright turns the corner, finds Walker. He puts it on the deck. Foul called on Adrian Sturt, and he has a bemused look on his face.
Let's look at the replay on this one and see, did you get a foul call for you for slipping?
Wow. Is that a hometown call, a superstar call, or a little bit of both?
Let's just roll them all together and let's make it a combo. Ringwood would be very stiff to come out of this quarter, even level the way with the start they got.
6 on the clock, the shot clock reset and now switched off. And you would imagine the Spectres will roll this thing into Simon Conn. Why wouldn't you? Ball goes to Ben Eyre. He turns the corner, and Miller called for the foul. And that's a pretty good foul in the end. They had two fouls to give. And that's his first personal. They've got another one to give, you imagine.
Very smart if he knew that. Very bad if he didn't.
Ball to Walker. He gets past Truman, rises up, and it rims out. And justice is served for the Ringwood Hawks as they take a 2-point lead into the first break.
Ringwood will be very happy with themselves. Great start to the first quarter. They got out in transition. Everybody's on the scoreboard, with probably the exception of imports has been a bit quiet, but scoring has never really been an issue in the history of Ringwood Hawk basketball, so they're on par to do what they normally do. But like you said, is whether they can hang in there when the game starts to slow down, maybe second half, and will they depth play a factor.
We're having a little trouble with our box score here. Try and bring you the up-to-date stats. We've got the team stats here. Nunawading shooting 61% from the field. 3 of 6 for long range from Ringwood. That's helped keep them in it. Scoring leaders, Sturt has 9. Clark and Fennell have 7 for the Hawks, and it's been a bit of a good spread for Nunawading. Conn and Hernopoulos with 6 each, and Lucas Walker with 5, but it was a 7-0 scoring run for Nunawading to finish that opening term.
Some unbelievable shooting percentages from both teams. So first team that can establish themselves on defense will be the team obviously that can take a little bit of control. We haven't seen any free throws in this quarter. Is that referees doing a good job staying out of the way, or is it we just looking at a jump shooting team, both sides?
Well, I think it's just been, there hasn't been a lot of physicality involved. I think it's been pretty well officiated. A couple of bailout calls, hometown calls for Nunawading. Damon, two of the guys for Nunawading out on the floor, Andrew Steele and Tom Wright. Did you enjoy watching them do their thing in Amsterdam?
Absolutely. Got a good chance to get to know those guys when you're away for 12 days. You're in the hotel, you're on the bus, you're in the Uber. You know, you get to know guys behind the scenes, and they stand-up dudes. Couldn't speak high enough for both of them, and they hoop junkies.
Were they a bit disappointed, the men's team, in where did they finish in the end?
That's a good question. I'm not sure of the number, but it was lower than what they expected.
Right.
But you're coming up against some very tough, experienced European teams who've been playing 3-on-3 for 20 years. So we're well behind the mark when it comes to the experience. But the guys they battled out every game, and it was good to see them get the last win against Japan, just to leave on a good note.
We're going to talk further about our 3x3 women at halftime, Damon. There is a lot to unpack. Fourth place finish, just outside the medals, but I need to hear from you what the path is from here to the Olympics.
It's murky.
We'll break all that down at the half as Con steps to the stripe. You wanted some free throws, you've got it. And the big fundy cashes in and ties it up.
I'm looking at another former junior from Kilsyth, young Nathan Truman, number 13 out there. Can't believe guys are still playing basketball at this age.
36, Truman getting it done. Snow, 35. He's got the rock. Finds Sturt. He's 33.
That's good D, Andrew Steele.
And I'm fascinated to see how Jacob Gibson goes tonight. Missed that little mid-range. I mentioned suffering that knee tendonitis. Travel there from Andrew Steele. It was a DMP last Sunday, Gibson. This guy's averaging 21 points per game, top 10 in the league in scoring. His last 4 games played 10 minutes against Bendigo. It was a DMP against Waverley, 10 minutes versus Eltham, and was a DMP last Sunday. Out of Arkansas, can really go. And if he can see out this game and have a bit of an impact, then you give Ringwood a fighter's chance.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't get to see him at his peak fitness. I can see him hobbling. He looks a little hobbled, but he's toughing it out, so we'll see what he's got.
Good find from Truman. And Latham finishes, and Ringwood edge back into the lead. Steele in the corner. Wow, rainmaker.
I played with Jack Saunders' dad in Mildura 100 years ago.
Oh, Saunders. That was.
And he's a shooter. His dad wasn't.
Speaking of shooter, there's Adrian Sturt scoring again. As I mentioned, coming off a 42-point offensive explosion, and he's got 11.
Waxy from the corner. I think this tempo suits Ringwood, even with all the talent Nunawading have. Right now, if you look at them on the floor, outside of Simon and Waxy, you got a couple of 2 young guards out there with Andrew Steele, and Ringwood's getting whatever they want offensively.
Wow, another great find from Truman. That Truman-Latham combination coming up a treat in the early parts of the second term.
Kenny Harrington trots out the 2-3 zone for one possession. And gets a stop.
And Ringwood with a chance to increase this lead. This is what they're doing with Gibson while he's hurt. Put him in the block, take guys like Saunders or Air or Steele, and with his offensive skill set, go down there and go to work.
See, a lot of guys wouldn't be that familiar with Matthew Snow. A couple of Big V veterans like ourselves have seen Matthew Snow orchestrate an offense for years. He wasn't even in the half court yet, saw the matchup who Gibson had on him, and told him go straight to the block. I like when a point guard can recognize a mismatch and just attack it straight away. You don't have to always run your stuff if you got a glaringly obvious mismatch.
Well, it's also, this also comes from head coach Ken Harrington, as Swatella swipes that one off. saying, all right, you're our leading scorer. If you're going to be out there hobbling around, we need to get you involved. We need to get you the rock. You're not going to be able to face up and make plays. Let's put you in the block. And he was able to get to the stripe there, and Ringwood out by 7.
That's 2 possessions Ringwood zone and 2 stops. I think they're going to stay in it until Nunawading scores. And there they go again, right back to Gibson on the block.
Turnaround. Oh, rolls out. It's a good look from Gibson. Couldn't hit. Swatala turns down the 3. Oh, great move, Dane Swatala. Up, under.
Yeah,
Didn't have the finish.
I like to see Swatala try to punch that one. You know, you ooh.
Gee whiz.
You know, we've all seen him in the warm-ups, and he can put the ball behind his neck and he can throw him down. But then when you go in there with contact and you start shaking the ball around, you don't always get to the free throw line doing that.
That was heavy contact from Jack Saunders. Snow, his head's on a swivel. They go back at Gibson in the block. Turnaround coming.
It's obvious what they're doing. This is their 3rd possession in a row.
Veronopolis.
A good D.
Defends it really well. Swatala on the dribble. Oh, he had Veronopolis underneath. They go back at Swatala in the block. Con mid-range. No, he finds Saunders. They go at Veronopolis. Truman, good D. Foul, count it. And 1 for Costas Veronopolis.
Good ball movement out of the post. They tried to isolate Snow on the block. They moved the ball to the weak side and punished him from the opposite block.
4 straight double-digit scoring games for Costas Veronopolis. 2 straight with 20-plus during that 0-2 weekend last week, carrying a scoring load, and he knocks that one down, and it's a 4-point lead to Ringwood. Making a ball game out of this one for your NBL game of the week in front of a big crowd at the Graveyard. An offensive foul called on Adrian Sturton. My man Damon Larry doesn't like it.
No, we all hate those little calls, those so-called illegal screens. I mean, you know, guy's 6'9", 6'10", whatever his third is. You know, he lays a little bit of body on the guy, and they bail him out.
Sturt comes out of the game.
Coach Harrington's over there asking the ref for an explanation. The ref saying, where'd you get that tie? The ref said, do they sell ties at the Ringwood canteen?
At the Ring? They are the best dressed coaching staff in the L.
Without a doubt.
The Hawks, in the men's and the women's. You got to hand it to them. Bringing some class to the NBL1. That's what Simon Conn does week in, week out. Can't score there.
Ringwood are not coming out of the zone until Nunawading can prove that they can handle it.
Latham with another deuce. Harrington had nothing good to say about his squad's zone D pre-game, but it's working for him.
And now look at
right
him.
now. Swatala, 45% three-point shooter. That was a brick. Veronopolis.
Here's your guy.
Bang! Costas Veronopolis with a much-needed 3-ball for the Spectres.
Hey, look what Nunawading's doing. They say, we see your zone and we raise you. A zone of our own.
Gibson. Ooh, contact from McDonald. Gibson will go to the stripe for 3. It was the 45% three-point shooter that missed down the other end, Swatala, and the 17% bricklayer who stepped up and knocked it down. And Veronopolis is flowing with confidence right now.
In Veronopolis' mind, he's the 45% three-point shooter, as hot as he's been in the last couple of games. Sometimes you can have too much depth. You look down the Nunawading bench and you got so many choices. Who plays? You know, you only got 4 10-minute quarters, and I'm legitimately 10 deep.
Well, it's a good problem to have, as long as everyone's buying in and the harmony and the chemistry is there. And from what I understand, that's definitely in place with this veteran squad. You're not feeling it.
I just kind of feel like, how do I get into a really good rhythm? Like, Costas. Yeah, you're on fire right now, but you're probably not going to play 30 minutes.
Picked off by Gibson. He's working his way into the game and scores in transition. Battling through knee soreness.
Everybody who's had tendonitis before knows what he's going through, and he's gutting it out.
Walker wants the post up on Snow. Double comes, McDonald open. Bang, he knocks it down.
And Matt Snow just told Gibson, you don't need to come down and double. Snow backs his kilos up against Waxy Walker's kilos.
Good find over the top. Latham wanted the foul call, didn't come. Might be time to get Clark back into the game for the Hawks. Swatala wants to go to work in the block. Fennell faces him up.
See, I don't know if Swatala really wants to go to work in the block. His teams prefer the mid-range, even if he has a size advantage. Although Fennell does play tough on the block with his kilos.
This zone defense giving the Spectres fits right now. Gibson finds Fennell, and he can't hit. 4 minutes to play in the second term. 5-point lead to Ringwood. We thought they might get wiped off the floor here.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, nice play.
Good finish.
Renopoulos finds Swatala, and he guides it in with one hand, and we're back to a 3-point game. There's Gibson, pulls up, splashes the mid-range jumper. And Jacob Gibson giving head coach Ken Harrington some great minutes right now with that sore knee.
He's gutting it out, and Ken Harrington has never had an import that couldn't put the ball in the hole. So I'm not shocked at his recruitment. And Gibson's clearly a shooter.
7 on the shot clock. McDonald finds Swatala. Bang, he knocks that down. 3-ball corner pocket. Timeout, Ringwood. And this lead's been cut to 2.
Big timeout by Coach Harrington. He sees Nunawading's making a little bit of a run. They figured it out a little bit. They got some easy looks in transition. Quick timeout just to stop the bleeding a little bit. But if you're Ringwood, and you can go into the half, even tied. Now it's just a 20-minute game.
A good timeout from the Hawks after a couple of clunky offensive possessions, and Nunawading working out the zone there. And Swatala, we saw him, just had the rangefinder on the previous attempt, and they're wide open in the corner. And as I mentioned, shooting the rock at 45% from long range on the season.
There's very little room for error when you're playing against a team like Nunawading with this much talent. So you're Ringwood, you're already pushing it uphill a little bit. You cannot afford to give up anything easy. I'm coming back with Stir out of this timeout if it's me.
Yeah, Harrington's coming back with Clark. He's in for Latham, but he's rolling with a bit of a 3-guard lineup. Gibson's out, and he's got Snow. Miller's back in the game along with Truman. Fennell at power forward. Big 3 minutes here for Ringwood. They have been outstanding in this opening half, and they need to close it out. Here's Truman, 10 on the clock. Fennell, floater, book it.
Now the 3-guard offense, a lot of dribble weaves. Matt Fennell plays that mid-range small forward spot pretty well in this offense, and they go back to their 2-3 zone.
McDonald, he was out of bounds. Bad turnover there from the Spectres. The veteran making a rookie mistake. And that timeout, that momentum-stopping timeout from Ken Harrington has worked well. A score and a stop, and a chance to extend their 4-point lead. Fennell wants it in the block. They go to Truman. He's full of confidence. Miller gets it back. Fennell, double team comes. Wow, lots of respect for Fennell. Late in the clock, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Miller needs to make a play. Awkward, and he needed to shoot it. It's a turnover.
Yeah, good do by Nunawading. It looked like they were in trouble, but they managed to save the possession.
McDonald exploring. Ball comes to right. He looks like he's ready to let it fly. He is. Slap.
Mr. Right. Do the right thing.
He is made of the right stuff. And he cuts it to a 1-point game. We could go all night. Fennell in the corner. Truman.
Nathan Truman.
Good hit. Snow with yet another assist. And Truman just steadies the ship for Ringwood.
Seen Nathan Truman. He's been around himself. He's a veteran, and I've seen he's a very streaky shooter. Can get hot, can give you 3 in a row, can miss 3 in a row, but he's got a shooter's mentality.
Yeah, he's shooting 38% from 3 on the season, Truman, just averaging 6 points a game. Here's the replay of Walker in the block on Clark. Strong take, and gets himself to the strike.
Walker's that tough matchup. You know, you get some guys who can still play in NBL, and they come down in the off season, and they that difficult matchup. They're 6'7", athletic, too quick for your big, too strong for your small, and Waxy's he's that tough matchup.
Little tweet from Illawarra Mercury editor Julian O'Brien coming in. Ringwood is winning the best dressed coaches competition in the NBL1 by the length of the straight. Apologies, Sam Armstrong down there in Northwest Tassie, but you aren't even in the same league, my friend. And he tells me I'm going to deliver it. Give Lowry a cuddle for us Illawarra Hawks, Hawkheads.
Ah, the Hawkies. Once a Hawk, always a Hawk.
Shout out to the Mercury, and Julian O'Brien as Truman follows up his 3-point make with an and one take across the lane.
Young Nathan Truman, like I said, when I was at Kilsyth 100 years ago, he was our development player, and he's worked in his game. Can I just go back to the Illawarra Mercury for a second?
Go ahead.
Since they took the time out of their busy schedule to give us a shout out.
Yes, sir.
I've got that many Illawarra Mercury clippings in my house right now. You wouldn't believe it.
Is that right?
I still check them out online every day just to see if Lowry might get another mention.
Do you get many?
Nah, it's over.
You got a subscription? I dare say, just to check it, just to Google yourself. Well, it might be time to roll one out then, Mr. O'Brien. Here's Wright from straightaway 3, and he hands it. And it's a 2-point game. Tom Wright coming up big here in this second term.
Coach Henry's going to ride this out for this half and will stay on the bench. That's deep. He's trusting Matt Snow at the back of the zone. He's holding his own back there.
Right.
Oh, Mr.
Crossover, and Clark gives up the foul.
Good 2 for 1.
It's the 3 personals on Adrian Sturt that's the issue for Kenny Harrington.
Ah, that makes sense. That's my bad.
It's all coming together now. He's got Fennell on 2, and Sturt on 3, and he's got both those guys calling their jets on the bench. Timeout call. 30 seconds remaining. 2-point ball game. Ringwood up by a bucket.
Sorry, Liam. The one thing Ringwood can't afford to do is get in foul trouble. Because you can see right now they offensively is dried up just a tad, and Sturt was ticking the scoreboard over. So you just got to be that smart and just let a few things go and be able to protect yourself on defense.
Well, they've done a good job drawing fouls down the other end, Ringwood, but it's been on a bit of a spread of guys. Con picked up that foul on the first possession. That's been his only one for the half, as we get a good look at all the Spectres fraternity. Nice, healthy crowd turned up to the graveyard tonight. Lucas Walker's on 2, but none of their other big names, Con, McDonald, Wright, Swatella, any of those guys in first half foul trouble.
No, they've done a good job protecting themselves, and it's that much depth on the Nunawading bench that even if one of them was to get in foul trouble, easily covered.
Tom Wright, a 93% free throw shooter on the season. He's only played one of Nunawading's last 4 games. A big in tonight, and he was never going to miss either of those, Damon.
This is key to at least going to this half at least tied. Ringwood is, you would say has outplayed them, or if they played above themselves for 19 and a half minutes. They'd hate to go down now.
Here's the play they called in the timeout. It's broken. Single digits on the shot clock. Miller crosses Con. Gets nothing from it. Clark, he's on the arc.
Step back, Sean.
Step back, rain-making triple from Sean Clark, his second three of the half. And that's the halftime buzzer.
Wow.
A big Sean Clark three ball closes out the half for Ringwood as they take a 3-point lead into the break, 52-49.
Do you know what a Sean Clark step back three is paying? That's got to be paying like $90. Gamble responsibly. But that is the last thing you want as a Nunawading to go into the half. Now, even though it's only a 3-point deficit, it's a momentum. It feels like it's a 10-point the way they got that last bucket.
They had nothing happening on that final possession, drawn up in the timeout. And it ended up with Sean Clark with Simon Conn in his grill as the shot clock wound its way down, and he slapped it.
That's a Sean Clark transition three in the first quarter, a step back in the second quarter. What are we going to see in the second half from Sean Clark?
Well, it's been an outstanding first half from the Ringwood Hawks. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to try and get our stats up and going. We're on the blimp here, and we're going to bring you the game-leading scorers, all the big numbers, and try to break it down for you why the 17th place Ringwood Hawks on the road against a fully stacked second place Nunawading Spectres lineup, why they have that 3-point halftime lead. Stick with us. We'll be back just after this. And the Hawks looking to pull off a massive upset. Fennell. Whack, that's a great start. He sticks a triple. Weak. And the Hawks looking to pull off a massive upset. Fennell. Whack, that's a great start. He sticks a triple. This is for Tom Wright. Snow rolls it in to Clark. He turns it over. Ooh, foul called. This is for Tom Wright. Snow rolls it in to Clark. He turns it over. Ooh, foul called.
Ringwood over the years have historically brought out Sean Clark.
That's from
what?
Deep. That is a deep triple from Sean.
Ringwood over the years have historically brought out Sean Clark.
That's from
what?
Deep. That is a deep triple from Sean. Right there. McDonald on his trusty left. Finds right. Ringwood clog it up. Con, he fires the mid-range and knocks it down.
Man, if you had
right there. McDonald on his trusty left. Finds right. Ringwood clog it up. Con, he fires the mid-range and knocks it down.
Man, if you had nobody told Ringwood that they were the heavy underdogs in this game, at least early.
The defense not standing up.
Nobody told Ringwood that they were the heavy underdogs in this game, at least early.
The defense not standing up right now.
I'm not joking. 2010 they ran that play, and they're still effective. Little back pick for the big, snowball, snow dribbles off, and just throws a nice little bounce pass into the post.
And here he is picking it off, finding Fennell. He scores, and Ringwood go up 4. And timeout Nunawading. Dave Beer has seen a nagging start.
Waxy's got the strength to be able to keep him from getting too deep. But Sean Clark's a bit crafty with the up and under.
3 of the top 4 in assists in the league on the floor tonight. Sturt from 3-point territory, and Ringwood go up by 9. 3 of the top 4 in assists in the league on the floor tonight. Sturt from 3-point territory, and Ringwood go up by 9.
Slow in transition.
Here's McDonald, and Sturt sends it packing. And everything. Here's Ben Eyre. Finds right, aggressive take. Great D from Fennell, and a bailout call from the official.
I thought Tom got away with him. He knows how to find people.
Walker from range, bang, that's down. And it's a 4-point game.
With him. He knows how to find people.
Walker from range. Bang, that's down. And it's a 4-point game. Con again. Wow, Simon Con just doing Simon. Con again. Wow, Simon Con just doing Simon. Here comes the wing on ball from Con. Right turns the corner, finds Walker. He puts it on the deck. Hold on Adrian Stir. Here comes the wing on ball from Con. Right turns the corner, finds Walker. He puts it on the deck. Hold on Adrian Stir. And you would imagine the Spectres will roll this thing into Simon Con. Why wouldn't you? Ball goes to Ben Air. He turns the corner, and Miller called for the foul. And Ringwood with a chance to increase this lead. This is what they're doing with Gibson while he's hurt. Put him in the block. And Ringwood with a chance to increase this lead. This is what they're doing with Gibson while he's hurt. Put him in the block.
Yeah,
I like to have the finish.
I like to see Swastella try to punch that one. You know, you ooh.
Gee whiz.
You know, he's
Con mid-range. No, he finds Saunders. They go at Renopoulos. Truman, good D. Foul, count it. And one for Costas Renopoulos. Making a ball game out of this one for your NBL game of the week in front of a big crowd at the Graveyard. Offensive foul called on Adrian. Right now, Swatala, 45% three-point shooter. That was a brick. Renopoulos.
Here's your guy.
Bang! Costas Renopoulos. Right now, Swatala, 45% three-point shooter. That was a brick. Renopoulos.
Here's your guy.
Bang! Costas Renopoulos. Point lead to Ringwood. We thought they might get wiped off the floor here.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, nice play.
Good finish.
Renopoulos finds Swatala. Lead to Ringwood. We thought they might get wiped off the floor here.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, nice play.
Good finish.
Renopoulos finds Swatala. Donald exploring. Ball comes to right. He looks like he's ready to let it fly. He is. Slap.
Mr. Right. Do the right thing.
Donald exploring. Ball comes to right. He looks like he's ready to let it fly. He is. Slap.
Mr. Right. Do the right thing.
Made of the right stuff. And he cuts it to a one-point game. We could go all night. Fennell in the corner. Truman.
Nathan Truman.
Good.
He's been around himself. He's a veteran, and I've seen he's a very streaky shooter. Can get hot, can get you 3 in a row, can miss 3 in a row, but he's got a shooter's mentality. Once a Hawk, always a Hawk.
Shout out to the Mercury and Julian O'Brien as Truman follows up his.
Once a Hawk, always a Hawk.
Shout out to the Mercury and Julian O'Brien as Truman follows up his. It might be time to roll one out then. Mr. O'Brien, here's right from straightaway 3, and he hands it. It might be time to roll one out then. Mr. O'Brien, here's right from straightaway 3, and he hands it.
He's trusting Matt Snow at the back of the zone. He's holding his own back there.
Right.
Oh, Mr.
Crossover, and Clark gives up on the shot clock. Miller crosses Con. Gets nothing from it. Clark, he's on the arc.
Step back, Sean.
Step back, rain-making triple from Sean Clark. On the shot clock, Miller crosses Con. Gets nothing from it. Clark, he's on the arc.
Step back, Sean.
Step back, rain-making triple from Sean Clark. And the Hawks looking to pull off a massive upset. Fennell, whack, that's a great start. He sticks a triple. And the Hawks looking to pull off a massive upset. Fennell, whack, that's a great start. He sticks a triple. This is for Tom Wright. Snow rolls it in to Clark. He turns it over. Ooh, foul called. This for Tom Wright. Snow rolls it in to Clark. He turns it over. Ooh, foul called.
Ringwood over the years have historically brought out Sean Clark.
That's from
what?
Deep. That is a deep triple from Sean.
Ringwood over the years have historically brought out Sean Clark.
That's from
what?
Deep. That is a deep triple from Sean. Right there. McDonald on his trusty left. Finds right. Ringwood clog it up. Con. He fires the mid-range and knocks it down.
Man, if you had
right there. McDonald on his trusty left. Finds right. Ringwood clog it up. Con. He fires the mid-range and knocks it down.
Man, if you had nobody told Ringwood that they were the heavy underdogs in this game, at least early.
The defense not standing up.
Nobody told Ringwood that they were the heavy underdogs in this game, at least early.
The defense not standing up right now.
I'm not joking. 2010 they ran that play, and they still effective. Little back pick for the big, snowball, snow dribbles off, and just throws a nice little bounce pass into the post.
And here he is picking it off, finding Fennell. He scores, and Ringwood go up 4. And timeout, Nunawading. Dave Beal has seen a nagging start.
Waxy's got the strength to be able to keep him off from getting too deep. But Sean Clark's a bit crafty with the up and under.
3 of the top 4 in assists in the league on the floor tonight. Sturt from 3-point territory, and
a couple of your Jays.
welcome back to the graveyard in Nunawading for your NBL1 game of the week, where the 17th place Ringwood Hawks hold a 3-point lead over the 2nd place Nunawading Spectres, looking to pull off a massive upset. And it was a late, deep 3-point make from Sean Clark that broke the deadlock late in the 2nd quarter and gave Ringwood that 3-point lead, alongside NBL champion and head coach of the Australian 3x3 women's squad, Damon Lowry. Liam Santa Maria on deck. And Damon up against all of the odds.
Every one of them.
Ringwood are well and truly in this ballgame.
Ringwood are not only up against the odds and have a 3-point lead, but they have sneaky momentum. They got a belief. Like, I think Nunawading now know they had their chance to probably open this game up. It didn't happen. And as the game gets shorter, Ringwood starts to believe a little bit more, and there's nothing like that great upset feeling, that win you get when nobody expects you to get it. And if Ringwood can get off to a good start in the 3rd quarter, at least the first few minutes, and keep that scoreboard ticking over, we can see Nunawading get tight. And we saw what happened in the last game. Anything can happen.
It's Kostas Hronopoulos, who is the game-leading scorer with 12 points, 5 of 6 from the field. Tom Wright, the only other Spectre in double figures. And for Ringwood, a really good spread of scoring. Sturt and Clark both in double digits. Fennell has 9, Truman has 8, Latham has 8, and Jacob Gibson is battling his way through knee soreness, and he has 6. The man I want to talk about just quickly, Damon, before we head into this 2nd half, is Ringwood import Joey Miller. Now, formerly of the Westchester Knicks in the NBA G League, coming in averaging 17 a game on 42% from the field, and tonight has a goose egg next to his name.
He's 0 for Saturday. And I don't know what's going on in Westchester. But we're in sunny Melbourne, and he's not even looking to be aggressive. He only has 3 shots. Normally a guy that's averaging those kind of points shoots the ball more than 3 times in a half of basketball.
He's in the Tom Wright Terror Dome right now.
And I've seen that Terror Dome, and Tom, that is no mean feat getting out of it neither, but I still want to see more aggression out of him. Like, we didn't fly you out here to take 3 shots in a half of basketball.
He's coming off 20-8 versus the COE last week against the kids.
The government kids.
In what was a good win, but tonight on the big stage, he's yet to make an impact as the Hawks come back on the court. There is the man I'm talking about, number 44 for Ringwood, Joey Miller. Keep your eye on him. I have a feeling he might have a few big moments here in the second half. Can they pull it off? The Hawks. Coming off that 1-1 weekend, 5 wins and 10 losses on the season. Started the year really well, had a real emotional double overtime home win over their rivals, the Eltham Wildcats, but have just fallen away a little bit ever since.
You would think Ringwood couldn't shoot 59% again in another half of basketball. You would think it would come down a little bit, but we'll see. It's a make or miss league.
Also doing a great job looking after the rock, the Hawks. Just 2 turnovers in that opening half. We are underway in the third quarter. No doubt Dave Beaver gave it to his Spectres at halftime for being a little soft at the defensive end. Fennell winds it up from range. Stop to open the second half for the Spectres. They roll it in.
They're going to start early to try to get his 4th foul.
That's a good call. Swatala sticks the turnaround off the glass.
I like the way Dave, he doesn't just settle for running our stuff. He sees a mismatch, he sees an advantage, he attacks it straight away. And they've identified Sturt in foul trouble, and they went straight at him. See if they do it again.
Fennell scores for Ringwood down the other end.
Yep, there it is.
And they're going right back as Sturt, as you say, Lowry.
There it is. You either get Sturt off of him, or he scores for the rest of the quarter.
And there's the chess match underway. The ball back in Ken Harrington's court. It's his move. Sturt down the other end draws a foul on Swatala. That's his first personal. But Ken Harrington, the head coach of the Ringwood Hawks, has some thinking to do. As you see there on the replay, Swatala going to work at the offensive end.
You either got to come double or you got to get Sturt on somebody else.
Well, if you put him on Con, they're just going to do the same thing with the big Fundy. Here's Miller, that man I spoke about, finds Sturt. He finds Snow, and he knocks it down. Big hit from Matt Snow from long range.
When Snow is hitting threes, you got problems, because that's not what he likes to do. That's not what he prefers to do. Here's the matchup, 3 in a row.
Sturt contests, Swatala cashes in. That's 3 straight buckets from Dane Swatala as Dave Biwa has his team go right at.
That's what the offense is called. The offense is called go at Sturt.
Makes perfect sense. That's what I like about this Nunawading team. Sturt from range, and he knocks it down. If he's going to get scored on at one end, he's at least going to do some damage down the other.
Right now it's Sveta. How you say it?
Swatala.
Swatala, 6, Sturt 5.
And here is that matchup once again. The ball skips to right, and Snow picks up the foul, going for the loose ball. I haven't seen an adjustment from the Hawks yet. Maybe Harrington is, oh no, here it comes. Now Fennell's going to switch on a Swatala, and Sturt's going to guard Tom Wright on the perimeter.
See, isn't that something? If you Sturt, you feel like, oh my God, I just got taken off. I'm getting used. Now, you know, my pride kicks in. I still want to guard the guy.
And a little turnaround jump hook there from Con. That was too easy. Muscled up. The big, strong Sean Clark pushed him out of the way. Bit of zone from Nunawading. And Sturt scores again. He's rolling at the offensive end right now.
That's why he's got to stay out of foul trouble, because he just gets the scoreboard ticking over.
I like the adjustment from Harrington. I did not see that coming. Sturt guarding right, but Fennell is strong enough to guard Swatala in the block. Shot clock winds down. Right.
Tough.
It's a fadeaway rainmaker on the baseline.
Tough, Tommy.
And we're back at a 3-point game. The margin we had at halftime. 3 minutes into this third quarter. Here's Miller, single digits on the shot clock. Lets it fly. Bang! There's Joey Miller with his first bucket.
Welcome to Nunawading. ISO for Tom.
Right on Sturt. Step back. Off the back of the rim. Ringwood off and running. Miller again in transition. Can't hit. Sturt, offensive board. Sturt again. Miller keeps it alive. Good pull down from Hernopoulos. And Wright finds Con, and you can count that one.
They might be shooting 70%. First team 80, 120.
Yeah, the points are coming thick and fast. Snow has it knocked away, and it's off him. Wright making plays at both ends right now.
Tom's one of those guys, he looks tired, but his effort does not diminish it in the slightest.
McDonald, lefty floater, and one. Count it for Shane McDonald as Ringwood head coach Ken Harrington throws his arms up and looks at the broadcast booth.
And we've got nothing for him.
He did not like that call one little bit. But that's what Shane McDonald's been doing for a long, long time. Siebel MVP back in 2013, 7-time all Siebel team honours. Spent time in the NBL with Singapore, Perth, Melbourne, and a little stint late in his career in New Zealand.
You know where Mr. McDonald's from? Born and raised?
Horsham.
Horsham. Do they produce some talent?
Oh, wow. Off that factory line of basketball talent from Owen Hughes. Owen Hewen, sorry, yeah.
Tough finish.
Your former coach. You and all the footballers in Horsham.
And a young Mitch Creek.
Oh, Dane Swatala gets up and throws it down. And we've got a 2-point game midway through the third.
Liam, offense is defense. Just outscore. Oh,
Clark wants it. Con talks him out of it. He's getting all kinds of respect from long range. And Fennell lines one up and knocks one down. Ringwood are really shooting the ball well tonight. And getting 3-point buckets from up and down the roster.
That's going up.
Gibson finds Clark, back to Gibson. Great ball movement from the Hawks. And timeout, Nunawading. Dave B was seen enough. A little scoring run there for Ringwood. They're up 7. And
what is the shooting percentage?
that's the Swatala throwdown. But Fennell responded with that from long range. And then in transition, little give and go action. Gibson scored, and Dave B were not happy.
Nunawading cannot string any stops together. They're giving up layups, they're giving up transition, they're giving up, you name it. Ringwood's getting any kind of shot they want. Their confidence is through the roof. Right now they know they can win. Whether they win or not is a different thing, but they right now think they can win because they're scoring too easily.
Well, Nunawading come into this game 4th in the NBL1 in defensive rating, behind only Ballarat, Geelong, and Kilsyth in terms of defensive efficiency.
See, yeah.
And Ringwood 12th in offensive efficiency. This is not what should be playing out in terms of the form we've seen over the course of the season. But on the big stage, they're getting it done.
You're going to make me think some of these ratings are just overrated because the proof, we're looking at it right now, and Ringwood, Nunawading isn't showing me anything that would suggest they're that good defensively, because I'm just watching Ringwood get too much easy stuff.
Ringwood come out in a little zone just to mix things up for the Spectres out of the timeout.
And they come in with Waxy and Stilo.
Waxy, turn around, count it. There's a pep in Joey Miller's step right now after a slow first half. And what a great take from Adrian Sturt. Takes the contact, finishes with the left. And after dropping 42 last week, Adrian Sturt is having a big impact on this one.
Adrian Sturt has at least 10 points this quarter already. And who's going to stop him? Like, somebody got to put their hand up and just get stops.
Well, he's got 16 for the game on 7 of 11 shooting. Make that 17. He's the game-leading scorer. And it's an 8-point lead to Ringwood, 75-67. They go back to Walker. And he finds steal.
Oh, there's his fourth. There's his fourth foul. He's just hit the last 4 buckets. He gets backdoored, overreacts, and tries to block the shot. When you just let the guy get the 2, because you're on fire. Now you're the 4th assistant coach, and you don't have a tie. They should give him a tie and sit right next to Willie Weimer and young Damo down there.
Well, the only difference is that Damian Smith and Willie Weimer are not going to have anything to say in the 4th quarter as my man Damon Lowry takes selfies. He said, I just made it rain on the mic. Let's capture the moment.
You can't turn down a Matty Garrett selfie.
And Andrew Steele cashes in. He hits the second of that pair. It's a 7-point game. Sturt calls his Jets on the bench.
The last time this happened in the 2nd quarter, I believe, when Adrian picked up his 3rd foul was when Nunawading made their run.
Oh, good take from Fennell, and he draws the foul on young Ben Air. You think that's going to happen again, do you?
I think Ken might recognize the mismatch on the other end. They might go with the young fella.
Latham checks in. Clark comes out. Latham had a pretty good first half, just quietly. 8 points and 3 rebounds, 4 or 6 from the field.
You look at Ringwood's personnel.
Yep.
You got your 2 import guards. You got Matty Snow. That's a rock-solid 3-guard rotation. Then you come with Clark.
Oh, wow.
And when Clark comes out, you still got Trevor Latham out there. They don't lose anything.
This is the 2nd time all season they've had their entire squad on the floor together. Been banged up throughout the season. And Walker finds right. Nunawading having a lot of success out of the block this quarter. Swatella early, a bit of Con, and now Lucas Walker making plays from down low.
And they're finding the gaps in the zone now. They're getting some penetration. Guys are cutting through.
There's Steele wide open. Can't hit. And Ringwood get away with one there. Got a 5-point margin, but you just get the feeling.
Look at the tempo.
Things might just start to turn here in Nunawading's favor. Ken Harrington, the head coach of the Hawks, is nervously bouncing around on the sideline. Walker finds Steele. Finds Walker again, and that thing went right through his hands, out of bounds.
Coach Harrington knows he is 12, nearly 13 minutes away from one of the biggest upsets. And sometimes when your season is going south, you just want one good win before the season finishes. No matter what happens after this, one good win that you can just go, we can feel good about this even in the offseason. And they're close.
And he senses the moment. Exactly what we were talking about 30 seconds ago. Things, yes, they're in the lead by 5 points. Things were starting to turn Nunawading's way. We're starting to get a little out of hand here on the road. And he goes, all right, timeout. Let me get Matt Snow back into the game. Our tempo controller.
Exactly.
Our puppet master.
Exactly.
And see if we can wrangle back control of this ball game.
This is one of those games that you look at and you go, okay, this is going to be a massive blowout. The game has already been established now. Be surprised if things get, carried away like a 15-point deficit or anything. So it's going to be a game of runs from here on out. Nunawading make a run. Coach Harrington sees it straight away. Subs. Dave Buer just got hot, took his jacket off. He's ready for the stretch, the run home. I still say whoever can play the longest amount of defense will be the team.
Would be arguably the biggest upset of the season, I think, if Ringwood can pull this off. Southern Sabres beating Kilsyth on the road earlier in the year was huge, considering where those two teams sat on the table at the time. But this is second last versus second, with Nunawading having all their big guns on the floor. And we're 12 and a half minutes away. Here's Walker in the block. Truman,
wow.
Great D, turnover. Ringwood out and running, 5 on 4. They find Snow, and Fennell draws the off-ball foul on Ben Air.
I've known Matt Fennell for a very long time. He's a cagey dude. He saw he had young Ben Air on him. He took him right down to the block. Ben trying to hold his ground, but he just giving up too many kilos. He just draws an easy foul.
Gibson rises up, knocks down the mid-range. He's hobbled. He's toughing it out, but he hit a big one right there.
And they go back to a 2-3 zone. They put Matt Snow at the back.
Con, trusty mid-range. Doesn't come through for him there.
And Ringwood's running.
And the tempo back in Ringwood's favor. Gibson's feeling good. Ooh, wow, that was an air ball.
And Latham jumped too soon to try to save it. Really smashed the glass, but the tempo suits Ringwood. I don't know how Nunawading's going to slow this down. You only slow it down by getting stops. And like you said earlier, you got to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, only 7 free throw attempts for Ringwood on the night. There's 6 of 7. Nunawading 8 for 10. So it's been a pretty clean game. There's Air from mid-range.
Young fella.
Shown no respect, can't hit it. Walker has had a frustrating couple of possessions. That timeout has worked well for Ringwood. A few stops, 1 score, and a chance to extend their lead here. Snow finds Fennell.
Vision.
Bang! Big hit, Matt Fennell. Great find, Matt Snow.
Been doing it for a decade. Now you're looking at a double-digit lead. When does panic set in? When Nunawading realized, I can't believe we were down this much.
Ben Air, sidestep, bucket. Wow, big hit.
Youngin.
From the 23-year-old Ben Air.
Turned down the initial catch and shoot and went with the step back.
He's coming off 26 and 8 in a starting role versus Waverley last week. Played some big minutes and a big hit there. We're inside the final minute of the third term. 7 on the shot clock. Snow, no panic. Pass fake. Truman draws the foul and he'll head to the stripe. 1 second on the shot clock there.
Discipline, defensive discipline. Young Ben there, he's played good minutes. He just kind of got caught up in the hype on that rotation. And Truman's a veteran. He knows how to milk it and get himself to the line.
I want to talk about that question you posed before. When does the panic set in? Here's the replay of that Ben Air 1 dribble sidestep 3. I like that. Here is where I think Nunawading separates themselves from a lot of teams in the NBL1. Their veteran status, their steady heads, their continuity playing together over a number of years. I don't think panic will set in. This is the type of team like we saw in the Brisbane Bullets in the NBL last year, with those older heads who have been there and done it. They say, oh no, let's just stick with the process. We're going to grind this team down and we're going to get this W.
We're going to find out. You're right, they got poise, they got championship pedigree, and not a bad player on the team.
Oh, hold on. Miller just took a hit. Steele with the putback. Miller's a little dazed and confused out there. Here he is on the hop. Doing a little Bob Cousy sort of style. Comes off the high screen, takes the contact, and he'll go to the stripe. After taking a hit down the other end, he was up and about offensively.
Yeah, somebody got him in the jaw. But now it's a 10-minute game. He might have milked it a little bit, judging by the replay. But he got it in the jaw, but it just was a delayed reaction.
Because when they got the ball and they were heading the other way,
he was fine.
He was ready to go. Had the deathly quiet first half, Joey Miller. hit a 3 early in this quarter. And now he's got 4 points after that free throw.
And you know who's ready to start the fourth quarter for Ringwood? Mr. Sturt.
You think, whoa, from the start? You crazy?
Steelo.
Ooh! Big hit late in the corner from Andrew Steele. On the three-quarter time buzzer, Steele cuts it to 5. It was Clark from range at the end of the second. Made it a 3-point Ringwood lead. And it's Steele from outside to close out the third. And we have ourselves a ball game here for your NBL1 game of the week.
No doubt about it. Now it's going to come down to who can execute.
Now,
if you would have gave Ken Harrington a 5-point lead heading into the fourth quarter, he would have said, yes, please.
he'd have slipped you a 50.
And now here you are in that prime position. When I talk about the collective panic, yes, Nunawading has poised players, but at some point, they collectively look at each other and go, how are we down? What's happening? Hurry up, fellas. We got to do something. And all of a sudden, you might start to see a few rush shots. Guys might try to take it on their own. And here's Ringwood playing with all the momentum because they're not supposed to be in this situation. We're going to see if Nunawading can overcome that.
I want to go back to something you said a couple of moments ago. You threw out there that Adrian Sturt, who dropped 42 last week and is the equal game leading scorer right now with 19, but has 4 fouls, would start this fourth quarter. You out of your mind?
I'm starting him if I'm Ken. I mean, I'm going to trust the veteran. I'm going to say, hey, big fella, you know you're on 4.
After the foul he gave up for his 4th, you're going to trust him.
It was a silly foul, but the scoreboard is only 5 points the difference. Sturt can open this thing up like that. He can go on a 6-8-0 run on his own. So
I like you sticking with it. I like you sticking with it.
I'm going to trust my veteran.
Despite the doubt that is flowing through your veins, your resistance to saying, good point, Liam, is noteworthy. They're going right at Swatala to open this fourth. With Sturt on the bench, they like this matchup. And bang, to your credit, Dave B was thinking exactly the same thing as you. If they're not going to play Sturt, we're going to take advantage. They're going to take advantage either way, truth be told. It's a 3-point game after that Swatala hit. Latham. Travel. The basket gets waved away. A score and a stop for the Spectres to open the final term.
If Ringwood loses the lead, Sturt immediately jumps off the bench. Oh, he's coming right now. Coach Ken Harrington's not even waiting. And I don't blame him.
2 possessions too late for you. Ringwood in the zone. They're in scramble mode. Swatala misses. And Joey Miller has it, and you just get the feeling Ringwood really need a bucket right now. Strange thing to say about the team in the lead, but that feels like the situation. Truman, clunky offensive possession. Wow, miscommunication there. And Swatala and Con collectively knocked that thing out of bounds.
Nathan Truman took a tough shot just then, and he heard the sub, and he started walking towards the bench, and Adrian waved him back off. You stay out there. Gibson, you have a quick one.
Gibson comes out. He's got 10, but on 3 of 10 from the field. Oh, and that's a bad turnover from the Hawks. So a tough shot off the dribble, and a turnover from the baseline inbounds from Nathan Truman on those last 2 plays.
I know Coach Harrington's got faith in his guard rotation, but I don't know if I'm comfortable in this stage of the game having Gibson and Snow on the bench at the same time.
It's a good call. They're in the zone. It's been effective for them at times. They go at Con Nunawading, back out to McDonald. And Latham does a great job blocking out one of the league's leading rebounders there in Simon Con.
Shane Bright, they double and count on the block. They're going to force Shane Bright. Sorry, Shane. I'm in Nunawading. I can't help it.
Hey, Nunawading Inspectors Hall of Famer.
A legend in young Brighty. But Shane McDonald, they're going to see if he can hit the three.
And we'll get it back through Latham. Truman wants it. Miller's got it. Some scramble defensively from Nunawading. Miller, step back.
Oh, that's a
2-point bucket. And Joey Miller coming alive here in the fourth.
Zone on the score, man on the miss. We've all done that before.
Con, mid-range. You can count that. And it's a 3-point game.
And here comes Snow.
Foul drawn there by Sturt. Chronopoulos raises his hand and accepts it.
Keep an eye on the foul count. It's slowly creeping up. If Ringwood can get them, I know I probably sound like I want Ringwood to win, when I don't care who wins, Liam. But I just can't help but feel a little bit, something for an underdog. Just the way they're going about it.
We didn't expect them to be right in this thing in the fourth quarter at the opening of the game. And they've just played great. Credit to them. Can they close it out? Not if they come up with possessions like that one. And Sturt turns it over. Con, their money man. The MVP of the league for mine. And he's coming up big. They have no answer for Simon Con down low right now. Big possession here for Ringwood. We're down to 10 on the shot clock. Miller on the hot.
Tough runner.
And he draws the foul on Shane McDonald.
Have a look at the foul count, Liam.
Now that's the third team foul on the Spectres. That's McDonald's third. The Nunawading really only have Ben Eyre in foul trouble. But that's 3 team fouls inside the first 3 minutes of the quarter. None for Ringwood. And that's certainly tilting in the Hawks' favor right now.
You're only behind a couple of points, but you can just imagine in a couple of minutes' time, you don't want to be giving up free throws on every foul if you're Nunawading for like the next 5 minutes.
Let me call this, though. We are one Adrian Sturt foul away from this thing being over for the home team.
And Sturt is hiding in the back of that zone.
He really needs to hold on to that foul. 10 on the shot clock. McDonald wide open, shown no respect. Con cleans it up. Again, they leave McDonald. Here's Andrew Steele. Can't hit, and Sturt clears it. A chance for Ringwood to extend their lead. This is the 17th place team, up by 3 on the road against the 2nd place team in Nunawading. One of the championship favourites, Sturt. Turnaround, short. Harrington, furious with that shot selection. McDonald lefty floater. Fratella cleans it up.
Sturt cleverly ran out of the way.
Timeout, Ringwood.
1 point lead, but it feels like Nunawading's coming home. Ken over there, Coach Harrington, he's thinking, okay, do I go man, do I go zone? If I go man, they're going to go at Sturts. What do I do if I stay in my zone? Simon Collins finding the sweet spots on the short baseline. He's going to have to make a call.
I wouldn't be mad at him for going back to the funky adjustment he used in the third term, and where he played Fennell on Swatella, and he actually put Sturt on Tom Wright. Now, you could also do that on Shane McDonald, and sit right off him, because they clearly are more than comfortable for McDonald to let it go from long range. He's 1 of 3 from out there tonight. He's shooting a pretty disappointing 28% from that territory on the season. That's where I'd go right now.
That sounds good. I'm going to agree with you on that one, because Fennell can body up with Big Dane, and you can always hide high Sturt, but if Wright's going to be aggressive and try to get to the basket, Sturt's got to be careful, obviously, but
that's why you put him on McDonald.
It makes sense.
And sit off him.
It makes sense.
Let's see what they do.
If you wasn't the Mike Breen of commentating, Liam, you'd be a good coach.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. Here's Miller. Snow, what do they have out of the huddle? Wright hits the deck. Fennell wide open. You got to let that fly. Can hit that and does. Big hit from Matt Fennell, putting Ringwood back up 4.
You can't play for charges.
Oh, good hands from Fennell. The ball falls to Con, as it almost always does. And he scores. I like the adjustment from Biwa. I reckon he saw that matchup coming as Snow draws the foul and gets to the stripe. I think he saw it coming and said, I'm going to throw all 3 bigs out there at once.
So you can't hide Sturt because he was on Waxy just on
what are you going to do?
Then you got to pick your poison. This one you just got to trust your guy, your Coach Harrington, say, Adrian, Sturt, do not foul. I don't care what happens, do not foul.
Yeah, but you can't give up buckets right now, right? Like you can't. I like the idea of having him on Walker because he's less comfortable with his back to the basket. At least in that situation, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Sit off him, make him shoot the mid-range, and maybe trust the percentages.
With this 3, maybe a 4-point lead after this foul shot, I might trot back into a zone. And they got the zone trot happening. That's the zone trot.
That's a good call. And that's exactly where they're going. Now, Swatella and Con go right to the block. And they're going to isolate Sturt. The double has to come.
Double has to come.
Miller waits. Finally goes.
Hit one.
McDonald, bang. They dared him to shoot it, and he rose to the challenge. We've got a 1-point game. Fennell. Oh, nearly turned it over. Spins. Finds Clark. And Clark finishes.
Do you do it one more time, Liam? Or are you matching up? They matched up.
No, they're back into the zone. Oh, got an eagle eye on their defense. Sturt close out. Good close out in the end. And turnover from Swatella. He wanted the foot violation. The officials weren't feeling it. 3-point lead to Ringwood. 4.5 left. Dave Biwa's shirt just getting a little tight around the neckline.
And Dave's bringing in a Karopoulos. Who's he coming in for? He wants another shooter on the court.
Who's he bringing in? Say it one more time.
Karopoulos? Costas?
Stick with that.
Ooh, the lefty floater.
Oh, wow. I love that lefty floater from Shane McDonald. From the free throw line, if you don't mind.
He is ambidextrous.
1-point game. 4 minutes to play. Snow turns the corner and clunky on the finish and a frustration foul.
Here we go.
Matt Snow. Now it's just his second personal and the first team foul.
He's coming in for Waxy Walker.
So what adjustment does Harrington make right now? He gives the signal. He holds up 2 fingers. I say you match up now.
They matched up.
And that's exactly what they're doing, and they're putting Sturt on right. Great adjustment from Harrington off the Biwa sub, and it's a turnover. Ringwood on the hop.
But now look at Sturt right on the block.
Wants it on right, doesn't get it. Fennell's been making plays. Clark, if you don't mind, stop it. He's hit a couple of big ones.
He's 67%. Whew.
But geez, it's all on the line right now. Wright lets it fly. Bang! Big hit. Tom Wright.
You tried.
Felt the matchup. Said it's my time to make a play, and came up with the 3-point dagger.
Coach Harrington tried his best to hide Sturt. He put him on everybody. He sends him to Wright, and Wright did the right thing and let the triple fly for their first lead in I don't know how long. Now Ringwood's playing from behind. Now we see if the panic reverses, Liam, because you've led for so long. Now it's like, oh no, have we blown the game? Oh no. We'll see what happens these last 3 minutes.
I'll tell you what we've already seen happen though, is Nunawading's poise and veteran experience come to the fore in this fourth quarter.
You called it. You called it.
On a scale of 0 to 10 of panic, they were in the minus.
Exactly, like you said it. Veterans scattered along the bench, on the court. They just came down and executed. They took their shots. They missed some, made some, but they kept being up. And here they are with a 2-point lead, which feels bigger considering they've come from so far behind for so long.
They have been in this situation and done it many, many times, this Nunawading Spectres outfit. And they know, I mean, that this being a championship favourite, or at least one of the championship favourites as they are, they get every team's best shot week after week. And they know how to grind it out. That's exactly what they're doing. Now, this thing's not over. Miller out of the timeout, finds Clark. Wow, he lines it up again, and that one's off the iron.
I think if you're Nunawading, you're still happy with him taking that shot, even though he's hit a couple.
They're going to go at Swatella. They're going to try and foul out Sturt. This has been the story through much of the second half. Fade away. Well contested by Adrian Sturt. And Ringwood get a crucial stop. Clark
shoot it
wide
again.
Open again. Wisely turns it down.
Shoot it again.
Brick.
He's missed his last 3.
He's hoisted up 3 triples in the last maybe 90 seconds. And Coach Ken Harrington, he needs to make an adjustment at that end of the floor. Right. The runner, the board, Con can't handle it. It's going back to Ringwood. Now, what adjustment did the Hawks make? Because Con is sitting in the paint on Clark, and he can't hit.
And he can't hit. So you got to come off if you're the guard. You got to come off and shoot that little pull-up.
It's a good call. There is no help on the screen here. Snow's not the man for it. Fennell might be again. Here's Clark. Wow.
How's the guts on him, Liam?
Oh, geez. Is it guts? I don't know. It's a lack of basketball IQ for mine. You got to be willing to turn that thing down, Damon.
4, and then Mr. Right.
Holster that thing. We're inside the last 2 minutes, and it's been a wild last couple of possessions.
Wait till you see this replay.
Clark, the offensive foul. Here's another look at it. Watch Clark in transition. And I don't like those calls.
I can't run. You got right in my way, and you call that?
Wow. That's a rough.
With 94 seconds left, you call that
rough call. Timeout. Let's set the scene here, because we are still on the verge of a major NBL1 upset. The scales have tilted back towards Nunawading in the last part of this fourth quarter, but it's still a 2-point game. Nunawading have it. They're up by 2, 94 seconds remaining.
Ringwood's last 4 shots have been Sean Clark threes. The last 4, that can't be what they want. Now, Simon Kahn is back there playing a one-man zone. Ringwood right now, Coach Harrington is drawing up something to get a shot for Adrian Sturt or Gibson. One of the two got to take this next shot. But what I'm interested in seeing is if Sean Clark has the ball and is open again, and you're down 2, do you let it fly?
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. You're open for a reason, Damon. You're open for a reason, and I think, hopefully Ken Harrington is using Simon Kahn's defense to his advantage. By, as you say, recognizing there is no help on that ball screen. You got to have the right guy coming off it. Now that guy is not Matt Snow. He doesn't want to pull up.
No.
It might be Matt Fennell. It's probably Joey Miller.
Probably Joey Miller. It's Miller time. You did that on purpose, Liam. You just handed me that.
I walked you into that, and you just grasped it with 2 hands. You probably grasped it with 1 hand.
If they don't get a stop right here, Ringwood, it might not even matter, because it's demoralizing to lead for so long, to play so well for that long, to now come down and be, oh my God, we down 4 or 5. Full credit to Nunawading. They showed why they're Nunawading. They did what they had to do. And even though, like you said, it's not over yet, they have put themselves in a great position to win.
At this point, there is nothing I would like to see more
Overtime.
than a Ringwood stop and a Sean Clark no hesitation 3-ball knockdown.
How could we not love that?
Because that would mean Ken Harrington told him in the huddle, don't stop shooting, big fella. Which is not what I expect he told him. Here's McDonald, finds Con mid-range.
That's a layup. Ooh.
And he misses it. Great box out, Matt Snow.
Here we go.
Saying push it. Con lays some body on Clark. They've got Clark down low. Here's Sturt, step back, mid-range. Oh, doesn't go down. Steele picks up the loose ball.
They got
Big
the look
possession here.
They got the look they wanted from the guy they wanted. It just didn't go down for them.
A score here might do it for Nunawading. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The pick comes from Con. Nothing happening. Right mid-range. Bang! Tom Wright makes it a 4-point game. Now Ringwood needs something quick. Snow finds Sturt from deep. In and out. Great rebound from Sean Clark. And he scores it. 2-point game.
Quick foul.
Shot clock turned off. Have to foul.
Quick foul.
McDonald and they foul Con. I think please let this be a regulation foul as the referees confer, and that's exactly what it is. So Simon Con, a 76% free throw shooter. Hold on, no, they have fouls to give.
And the disappointing thing is Adrian Sturt had to foul him because they blew the opportunity to foul up there.
I think they fouled McDonald. The refs let it play. Sturt's fouled out.
And Sturt,
that 3-point look nearly went down. And they've still got one more foul to give, so they've got to give that quick and try to send Nunawading eventually to the foul line. And it's McDonald really is the one that they want to send there, 50% free throw shooter.
Which is
season.
why he's taking the ball out of bounds.
Well, it's not that situation yet. He's 0 for 1 from the stripes tonight so far. Can they force a turnover, Ringwood? Comes in a Con. Foul given. 1.5 seconds, I think, off the clock. And the next one will be a free throw, and as you say, McDonald will throw it in. Goes to Wright. That's not the man to foul. Ooh, they give it up. Geez, they didn't necessarily have to.
Yeah, with 13 seconds to go, you want to give yourself as much time as possible. They probably could have waited to see because they nearly had a double on him at half court.
Yeah, it's not the 93% free throw shooter is not the guy.
That's not the guy. But what is he in the clutch, Liam?
Well, he's 2 for 2 tonight. Tom Wright. Oh, he goes all Damon Larry on us. Ooh, that knocks down the first.
There's 2 percentages. There's the regular season percentage, and then there's the clutch percentage. We find out what Mr. Wright's clutch percentage is right now.
And it comes off the rim, 3-point game.
Sean Clark for overtime.
Oh, Clark, please.
He wouldn't shoot it, Liam.
Didn't want to shoot it. He's missed his last 4. Timeout, Ringwood. 5 seconds to play, and Tom Wright, the 93% free throw shooter, has just left the door ajar.
It's ajar. Will Ringwood be able to get off a quality 3 as better than what they just had if Sean would have let it fly?
Now, what do Ringwood do? Do they bring Jacob Gibson back into the game? I think they do. You need to have 5 3-point shooters on the floor.
Simon Kahn will not be guarding anyone on this possession.
Fennell is 4 from 5 from long range tonight. And he's been impressive. Clark is 2 of 6. We know he made his first 2 and has missed his last 4. Miller 1 for 4. Snow's actually 1 for 1. Sturt's fouled out. He's 2 of 5. Gibson is 0 for 2. They come out with Snow, Miller, Fennell, Gibson, and Sean Clark.
And Dave takes Khan out of the game.
He's going to go offense, defense. He's going to insert him back in if he gets the chance. Clark's going to throw it in. Lucas Walker's going to make it tough. They need a 3 to tie Ringwood. 5 seconds on the clock. They go to Gibson, fade away from the corner, and it hits the board. Fennell, one last prayer, and that's short. And Ringwood's tough effort on the road comes up 3 points short as the Spectres take this one out, 99 to 96.
That is demoralizing loss for Coach Harrington and his boys, because they did everything right for the majority of the game, but the last few minutes, just that veteran leadership. They knew where to go, and they made big shots. Tom Wright made a big triple. Shane McDonald made a big triple. Coach Harrington dared them to make it, and they did it. So full credit to Nunawading for gutting that win out.
It was a high-quality affair and a really fun game to watch. 2 outstanding NBL1 coaches going move for move along the board, and in the end, the class of the Spectres comes to the fore, and they now advance to 11-5. They get their record back in shape after last week's 0-2 weekend, and the Hawks, they slip now to 5-11. And we talk about the poise of the Spectres in that final quarter. Really, it was mostly done at the defensive end. They went into full lockdown mode. It was a 13-point quarter for Ringwood in that final term after putting 31 on the board in the third.
And we've said today in both games, soon the first team that can lock down and get a 10, 11, 12-point defensive quarter normally gives you just enough of a gap to win. And Nunawading did that down the stretch, and Ringwood still got good looks. They just didn't go down, but that's basketball for you. It's make or miss, and Sean Clark, who hit those 2 threes in the first half, he had good looks and his confidence was up. As soon as he missed a couple of them, his confidence dropped, and Adrian Sturt's foul trouble clearly didn't help. But Ringwood just fell up just that 3-point short.
Tom Wright led the way for the Victors with 20, including a huge 3-point hit late in crunch time. Dane Swatala had 19 and 10, a big double-double for him. Con also double-double, 18 and 10. Chronopoulos and McDonald, the 2 other Spectres, in double figures. And for Ringwood, it was Matt Fennell was the game leading scorer, 22 points on 9 of 13 from the field, including 4 of 6 from long range. Had a last-second prayer there that fell short. Sturt had 19 but fouled out late, and his foul trouble was a major storyline throughout the second half. Clark had 14, and Josh Gibson, toughing it out with knee troubles, had 10. And Damon, that pretty much wraps things up from the graveyard. Thank you so much for joining us. So good to have you with us, lending us your expertise, and just great to have this level of basketball happen in the burbs on a Saturday night during the wintertime.
That's it. Thanks, man. Whoever organized the game in the week, they knew what they were doing, because these 2 teams, even though they was going in different directions on the ladder, they came together and put on a show on a Saturday night, and full credit to both teams. I think Nunawading might have sent a message to the league. We're coming. We're at full strength. We're only going to get better from this, I think. So they might not be as vulnerable from here on out.
Good call. Let's do this again sometime soon. That wraps it up here from the graveyard for your NBL game of the week. It's the Nunawading Spectres taking it out over the Ringwood Hawks, 99 to 96.